Okay, now a couple of weeks ago I already talked about why The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the best game ever made in my opinion. And in that video I mentioned specifically that the second DLC of the game, Blood and Wine, is also the pinnacle of DLCs and how DLCs should be made in recent years. I mean, in almost every big franchise, in Assassin's Creed, in Far Cry, we have had DLCs that you could buy for a specific amount and that would tell a unique story. However, since I first stepped my foot into Toussaint, the place where Blood and Wine is located, I immediately knew that this DLC was something special. And today I want to talk to you about why I think that other developers should look at Blood and Wine and The Witcher 3 to see how DLCs should be made. Okay, firstly I want to mention that this DLC is from 2016, so it's 7 years old, and at its release date it was $20, and a couple of months later the Game of the Year edition came out, where you could buy The Witcher 3 plus the 2 DLCs for $50. And now I think you might remember the crazy reputation CD Projekt Red had before releasing Cyberpunk 2077. And the Blood and Wine DLC specifically was a big factor for that. And that's specifically because this DLC could be released as a whole new game. It has so many incredible factors in such a beautiful open world, so that people even were shocked for it to be only a DLC and only $20. And now one huge part why Blood and Wine was so successful is its vast and unique setting and the beautiful region that is Toussaint. I mean, this landscape is really something new when it comes to The Witcher. Because in The Witcher 1, The Witcher 2 and 3, mostly you have very dark and very mature places that are being filled with crime, with war and with poverty. And now this place is simply magnificent and really looks like out of a dream. It's also a place that people know from the books, and I think the developers have matched it perfectly to what we have believed it should look like. You know, you have the beautiful castle where the Duchess lives, you have the city of Beauclair where the richer folk live, and you have the fields where normal usual people live their simple lives and work on the fields or produce wine. And I was thinking a lot, and I believe that Toussaint really is my favorite place of all time when it comes to video games. Like, I was really thinking about not what my favorite open world is of all time, but what my favorite place is. And I was really torn between Paris from AC Unity, but I still have to say that I think that Beauclair has an edge over the open world from AC Unity. It's simply a place that you would wish to live in real life. And you know, there's so many different settings in that. There are so many interesting places that it's just so much fun to explore the whole landscape. But don't get me wrong, the open world may be great, but that doesn't mean that the other things are of low quality. The storyline of the DLC is so engaging, and it brings really interesting characters that you also know from the book, like Henrietta or Regis. And you know, the questline is filled with political intrigue, with dark secrets, and with a lot of unexpected twists. And now another thing that I have to mention here is the crazy visual and sound design of the game. Firstly, when it comes to the music, I mean, the music is simply gorgeous and so fitting for this place. And also when you're walking through the city of Beauclair, or through the small villages or the vineyards, and you just listen to the sounds of it, it literally sounds like you were in this place. Like, even now just talking about it, the only thing I want to do is just hop on the game and explore the world of Toussaint. Now obviously you're still playing an experience that feels like your own adventure, with a lot of meaningful choices and also consequences that you have to carry when choosing a specific path or answer. It's also very nice to see that the decisions that you're going to take in The Witcher 3's main game also have a small impact on the Blood and Wine DLC. And right now you can get the whole Witcher 3 Complete Edition for $15, which is The Witcher 3 standard game. It's The Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone, and it is The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Like, I would literally, even 7 years after its release, say that this DLC alone is worth more than $15. And as I was talking about in the beginning, the reputation of CD Projekt Red was impeccable at that time, because they were charging almost nothing for so much quality. And even though it got overshadowed a little bit by Cyberpunk, I hope that in the near future, when they will continue with their work on The Witcher, they will go back to how they operated back in those days. So if you have not played The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, what are you doing? Like, I wish that other developers would look at this DLC and copy some things to really view how a real DLC should look like. Because this is the perfect experience that just enriches your view of a specific game. So all in all, I just have to say that Blood and Wine really is the example of how DLCs should look like. And I would recommend the DLC and the whole game. The Witcher 3 literally is just a masterpiece, and I think I won't stop talking about it to everyone because it's really worth it. Okay guys, that was it from today's video about Blood and Wine. You can tell me your experiences, and I think they will look quite similar to mine. But for now that was it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.